Good evening, friends, and welcome to yet another session of Candid Meena. And today is the death anniversary of Disha Salian. Right on this very day, we know that Disha Salian was murdered, right, and she was found naked. She as she jumped from the top of the building,
No, that's
and
what they say. She was
yeah,
thrown over there.
yeah, so she was thrown, and that's what why would anyone take off their clothes and just jump like that, right? If you look at it, if and now you know as all of you know that after that David Fadnavis mentioned that he would order an SIT team to investigate the Disha Salian case in particular. And after that, there's no update, as all of you know. Everyone has remained quiet, including the Ranis. Narayan and Nitesh Rane said that they have a pen drive, having some sort of evidence in the Disha Salian case. And after that, from the BJP side as well, there's no, update, or there's no follow up on this particular case, unfortunately. And we all know it is somehow linked to the SSR case, of course. And CBI in particular is remaining quiet on the SSR case when they are very, very active on cherry picked cases like Samir Wankhede case. Then you have Manish Sisodia case. On certain cases, they are very active, but on this particular case, they're sleeping. So, welcome Vidya, welcome Ranjita, welcome Maya, welcome Vidya, welcome 14 Re, welcome Tara, welcome Elizabeth, welcome yeah, Tara. So, friends, it's quite disheartening to see Disha Salian case has no movement, and there's no mention in the mainstream media also that especially from the likes of Republic TV, as to why there's no follow up on the Disha Salian SIT case. And all the mainstream media is conveniently quiet on SSR case, Disha Salian case, especially Republic TV at this point of time. So it has been disappointment over disappointment, because in the case of Rabia Khan also, she did not get any justice from her for her daughter Jia Khan, and she has sort of given up on her quest, unfortunately, because she has fought for more than 10 years. She has spent so much of money in the legal system, and as all of you know, unfortunately, the judgment was not in favor, and that's how it is. So we need a change, friends, and especially with the way now Samir Wankhede is being hounded by the central agencies, especially CBI and NCB and the film mafia, and even the politicians are also sort of wanting to see this man get nailed, the likes of Nawab Malik, right, and many other. I wouldn't be surprised if many people in BJP also would like to see him, framed, because the BJP people have also vested interest in the film industry. Good evening, Divyaji. Good evening, Sensible Life. Um, 14 Re says, really enjoy your videos and full of vital information update. So thank you both. Thanks, 14 Re, and friends. If you do like our content, make sure to hit the like button, and this will help the video reach more and more young audiences who are unaware of what's happening in the film industry, and we can thereby save young lives from pursuing a career in the dirty, rotten film industry, where most of the outsiders, if not all outsiders, they have to have some sort of compromise, or they won't get roles, or any significant sort of endorsement, advertisement, or anything as such. Yes,
So
it's over to
here,
you.
yeah, yeah. So here, I'd like to say something. If you look at hindsight, first, nobody knew that Disha Salian had died because it was a small newspaper piece in the middle of the newspaper that Sushant Singh's business manager died, and she committed suicide by throwing herself from the top floor. Now, nobody really realized who this was, and also the significance or the connection with Sushant Singh. You know, so it is only when Sushant Singh died that we realized that this was the case. And what they had done was they also spread rumors that she was pregnant with Suraj Pancholi's son, or a kid, or I wouldn't say son, pregnant with his child, and that she had a fight with Suraj Pancholi, and that was the reason why she committed suicide. So they were busy concocting stories, about this young girl who was just a very smart girl who was just building her career so as to have a good life. Now, she was, in a sense, very ambitious in the sense that she wanted to have her own footing in the field, and she was a very clean girl, and that's why she was attracted to Sushant Singh Rajput and started, sort of helping him in his mission, to identify the dirt in Bollywood. Now, the moment people realize that this she is connected to Sushant Singh in more ways than one, because you remember she was in Cornerstone. She was under Shruti Modi, and when Shruti Modi took leave, it is at that time she started looking after Sushant Singh's business. So she herself had mentioned that in Cornerstone, Banti Sajde, and all connected with the Khans, they were very curious to know about how much Sushant Singh was making by way of movies. Okay, so they were already on seeing how much income he had and how to fleece that would have been the next thing. So this is how he was being enticed into opening shell companies with Ria and her brother. You see the link, because one was a company owned by Salman Khan, which Salman Khan said later that was not his. He withdrew from it because he knew he was in deep boiling water. If he said it was his, and also the fact that Si Kwan's or CEO was the man who started the company, the shell company with SSR. Now they were questioned by the ED. So all this came out. At that time, Ria was a part of Kwan, and Ria was put in as a honey trap. And also behind this was Imtiaz, Imtiaz Khatri. So the intention was to fleece Sushant, drug him, and make everyone feel that he is useless. And if he doesn't serve the purpose, perhaps get rid of him. That would have been the purpose. Now, this all came to the attention of this young girl, Disha Salian. And at every point, she was informing Sushant about what was happening. Now, they were also going to have a press conference very shortly before she died. And as you remember, she was invited for a party at a lady's house, a lady producer's birthday. And she did not want to go because she was busy making dinner for, according to her mother, she was making dinner for her parents and she was going to dine with them. But then her mother said, Rohan kept persisting that she should go. And then the last moment, she said, she told her parents to have, order some pizza. And she went off. When he started honking his car, she left off in a hurry. Then you remember what happened at the party. At the party, there were all the bigwigs, the politicians, the NGO people, politicians. You know who I mean. And there, Disha saw something that disturbed her. She saw some, what you call minors being ill-treated, and out of that, she could recognize one girl. So immediately, she called Sushant, and Sushant told her to get out of there, and if possible, with the girl. Now, here she has an argument uh, with Rohit, and says that see she cannot stay, she needs to go. She also managed to call the police at this time, saying that there's trouble here. But police did not respond. Who were the police under? The police were under Paramveer Singh and Wazir. So you know why they didn't respond. because they all come under the Mahavikasa Gadi. And after that, they separated the couple, and what was known was that they allegedly gang raped her and killed her. And most probably, this would have been shown on the dark net for making more money, because the intention is only to make more money and to rip apart society. Okay. So after that, this body was dumped in front of Rohan Rai's apartment, just outside the gate. And this is what the watchman allegedly said that he had seen: a white, huge car come, two or three men get out of it, put the nude body of Disha on the road, and they disappeared. Now, what happened was, shortly, Rohan came and in his red car, and he and his friends put the Disha's body into the car, and he went away. And it was only after a couple of days that the post-mortem was done, and the post-mortem showed very clearly that there were injury marks in her private parts, which means that she was violated. Okay. Then after that, of course, the funeral was done. Now, in the midst of all this, the parents would have been heavily bribed. This is what everybody presumes, because they kept quiet and they didn't want to take the case forward. And her brother was also threatened and heavily paid. So the whole thing was hushed up. And the parents did not want to raise it at all. In fact, they made quite a lot of fuss, against the people who were raking the issue. And they also got this Rohan Rai into it, and he started lying through his teeth in some interviews. What was most surprising was that after that, his intention to get married to a girl he had been dating. So was he never in love with Disha Salian? So I think even that was a cooked up story. He was never in love with Disha Salian. It would have been that she was just a convenient girlfriend for him. So this is all very, very strangely put together. And now he's married a woman they say he dated for some time. Ree says Paramveer Singh knows everything. Mr. P. Shaw to abused Disha. Rohan seen Disha was raped. Rohan Rai watched and now got money to marry another woman. Serious. Logan, they got married. Yes. See, there is a lot of intrigue in this case, Ree, because apparently they wanted to teach her a lesson. And see, whenever they teach someone a lesson, it is a lesson for others as well. Please do not play. Do not put people into problem. You cannot reveal this what is happening in the Cabal. This is all what the message is going to the other actors and actresses. Now he has got married and he went and celebrated his honeymoon in Kashmir. Can you imagine? See the horror of the whole thing. And then our famous Mr. Fadnavis comes in and says that he's going to do an SIT, and he goes and has his siesta. After the siesta, we do not know what has happened, because the SIT has not moved an inch, nor has it crawled, is all I would say. So, nor has Eknath Shinde taken any initiative. Now, I don't know why, what was the reason for them to call an SIT when clearly this is linked to the SSR case and it comes under CBI. So, are they trying to shift the focus? Now, where did all these ministers who had pen drives go? It's very clear that, see, if the government continues in this way, they're going to have a real serious problem, because this is the third year that Sushant Singh died. And friends, we will be, actually on 14th, we will be focusing on this issue. So please do send us an email on the below ID in case you want us to, you want some ideas to, give us some ideas on how to do it. We would certainly do it in that manner, because we plan to do something special wherein these people will open their eyes again. Ma'am, an FIR was registered with 4 people's names, including nephew's bodyguard of famous, yes, of infamous, yes, absolutely. Welcome, Gloria. Rohan should not be dating 2 women at the same time.
I wouldn't be surprised,
Welcome.
Divya. If Rohan is dating two women.
Yeah,
Good evening,
because that is
Shamila.
the ethics. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is the kind of ethics they have. So moving to another piece of news. Let's just go to that. Friends, today I'd like to just pay, sort of, say thanks to this minister who has done immense work. Okay, so before I do that, let me just take a glorious comment. Justice for Disha, 3 years is a long time. How much more should they wait? We are voicing for justice and we'll continue till she gets it. And we support Samir Wankhede, said Janet. Justice for Sushant Singh Rajput, boycott the shameless Bollywood TV. Yeah. Okay. Now, see, in this case with Ashwini, Vaishnav, 51 hours over 2,300 staff were used. The complete Ashwini team, which was led by him on the day that Odisha rail accident happened. Now, late in the evening of June 2, when the deadly rail accident took place in Balasore, in Odisha, the public had very little idea of how devastating its impact would be. The challenge was staring at his face for the very first responders and the concerned departments of Indian Railway. Within hours of the accident, Union Railways Minister Ashwini was on the ground while he traversed through the accident site, understanding the technicalities of the accident and, of course, monitoring the rescue and relief operations. It was not without a plan. 8 teams were constituted with at least 70 members to work on the ground. Then each of these 2 teams were supervised by senior section engineers. And further, they were supervised by one DRM and one GM Railways. They were further supervised by a member of the railway board, a senior railway minister source told ANI. These officials from the Minister of Railways were working on the ground on the train, tracking and its repair work, which involved a lot of technicality. But this was not the single focus on the job at hand. The other focus was to ensure that no problems on the ground existed for those who were admitted to the hospital for treatment. The war room at the Ministry of Railway headquarters in the national capital in the Railway Ministry was keeping a constant watch on the development round the clock. 4 cameras were giving live feed of the developments of the ground at the accident, were constantly monitored by a very senior level officer, and all details of progress were conveyed in real time to the minister and his team. The chairman of the railway board was placed at the hospital in Cuttack, whereas DG Health was sent to hospital in Bhubaneswar to ensure maximum relief for passengers who were being treated. The instructions were very clear to us that not only is the rescue and relief operation on the ground important, but even the comfort of those in hospital is equally important. That is the reason senior officers were dispatched to oversee the situation. Another senior officer who worked on the ground uh, told ANI. See, if you look at this gentleman, the minister, this minister, if you look at him, see, uh, he's a seasoned bureaucrat, a turned politician. Disaster management has not been a new thing for him. In 1999, as a collector of the district of Balasore, Vaishnav handled the super cyclone crisis. One of the challenges on the ground was to ensure that there was no burnout. Hectic work and sultry weather were a challenge and was handled by ensuring that those working on the ground got enough breaks and rest before they got back on the job. It was effectively ensured that every team that worked on the ground, whether at the accident site or the hospital, were given timely breaks. And they were kept well hydrated. On Sunday night, when the lineup was running and functional, it was only then that the team could heave a sigh. The emotions were running high as Ashwini Vaishnav, who remained on the ground for 51 long hours, along with his entire team, bowed his head down with folded hands in prayer to the Almighty. So, this is how this wonderful minister under Sri Narendra Modi, worked after this tragedy happened. We can only salute this brave man, this patriot, who did not spare anything to, to rescue the people, to rehabilitate them, go to the hospital, check on them, make sure that the railways are working on time. So our heartfelt thanks to this minister. Unlike the Golgappa ministers in Narendra Modi's uh, party, here is a man who is walking the talk. So please, friends, support this wonderful minister and ensure that he knows that you all appreciate his hard work. Bajrang Gadal, VHP, RSS donates blood and looked after the injured. Very, yes, absolutely. Temple under construction was nearby, so devotees helped in that way, feeding and taking care for nearly 600 to 700 people. Meena ma'am, a question. Can someone accept any justice from India law when law minister is best friend with biggest criminal Salman Khan and BJP members Priti Irani's best friend with Ekta Kapoor? Here, he's been removed from that post. So now let's look at what is going to happen next. Ashwini has done an excellent job, says Divya. Yes, we pulled all the worms out of the bloody bully weed and agencies exposed them in the sun. Please, judiciary and good politicians terminate them before they create more worms. Great work, Ashwini ji. Absolutely. Each and every Indian is proud of this minister. Golgappa minister is a black sheep in a BJP gown. Truly, such a devoted royal minister, rare in Indian politics, and Didi wanted his resignation. Welcome, Shahnaz. Okay, back to you, Chair.
Yeah, so coming to the main piece of news, friends, and it is with regards to Samir Wankhede. And what is the latest news? As you all of you know that every day, he's facing the kind of sort of unfair sort of targeting from many of the central agencies. He's being harassed, he's being hounded from the Bollywood cabal as well, and also from other forces as well. So the latest news with regards to Samir Wankhede is that NCB's Special Inquiry Team, the SET, had an ulterior motive of giving a clean chit to Aryan Khan in the cruise case and suppressed material evidence against him. The anti-drug agency's former Mumbai zonal director Samir Wankhede submitted to the Bombay High Court on Thursday. Now, Wankhede, whose interim protection from arrest in the CBI's case of extortion and bribery against him was on Thursday extended by the Bombay High Court till June 23rd. In his rejoinder affidavit, claimed that the SET has twisted facts and labeled false allegations to jeopardize the career and character of honest officials. The affidavit also claimed the SET sought to give a clean chit to Aryan Khan by suppressing material information and evidences in violation of legal provisions. Wankhede filed a rejoinder affidavit in his petition seeking to quash the CBI case registered against him on charges of extortion and bribery. The CBI's case is that Wankhede and four other accused had demanded 25 crore bribe from actor SRK for not framing his son Aryan following the alleged seizure of drugs from a cruise ship. So the CBI lodged a FIR against Wankhede and others last month on the basis of a written complaint issued to them by the NCB. So apparently, Samir Wankhede is, has submitted this to the Bombay High Court saying that the NCB's SET or the Special Inquiry Team had an ulterior motive of giving a clean chit to Aryan Khan and suppress material evidence against him. So this is a very big,
See,
coming from
this
Samir
is not
Wankhede.
the only, only bad news against Samir. You know, prima facie case of bribery against Samir. Now the CBI seeks recall of interim protection granted by Bombay High Court. The agency last month filed an FIR against Wankhede and four others for demanding 25 crore bribe in return for not framing Aryan in the drugs case. Now, the CBI has sought the Bombay High Court to recall its earlier order granting interim protection from arrest to NCB's former zonal director Samir, saying it has a prima facie case against him on charges of extortion and bribery in connection with the arrest of Shah Rukh Khan's son. The CBI last month filed an FIR against Wankhede and four others for allegedly demanding 25 crores as bribe. Now, Wankhede has moved to the High Court seeking to quash the FIR and interim protection from any coercive action. A vacation bench of the HC last month granted interim relief to him and directed him to cooperate with the investigation. Now, the CBI on June 2nd filed its affidavit in response to his petition and sought that the interim protection order be recalled and the plea be dismissed. The CBI has prima facie case and grant of any interim relief would adversely affect the ongoing investigation. Hence, it's respectfully prayed that the interim relief granted to the petitioner, Wankhede, from arrest may please be recalled, the agency said. The CBI in its affidavit said it registered the FIR against Wankhede based on a written complaint issued on it by the Narcotics Control Bureau on May 11th. Now, the written complaint received by the CBI disclosed commission of cognizable offences, hence, a regular case was registered against him. The allegations mentioned in the FIR are very serious and sensitive in nature, pertaining to acts of corruption, criminal conspiracy, and extortion by threat by the accused persons named in the FIR, who were then public servants of the NCB, it added. The CBI said the investigation in the case was at an initial stage and the probe was being conducted in an unbiased and professional manner. The agency said before the case was quashed, it was pertinent for the court to consider the gravity and seriousness of the offence alleged against him. The CBI said FIRs can be quashed only in the rarest of rare case where there is no cognizable offence made out against the accused. The High Court is likely to hear his plea on Thursday. Wankhede and the others accused in the case have been booked under charges of criminal conspiracy and extortion threats under the Indian Penal Code and provisions of the Prevention of Corruption Act pertaining to bribery. So you see here, friends, the kind of harassment Samir Wankhede is undergoing. It's like, arrows from every direction. And why are we not surprised? Because we are, through history, seeing, that adharma is always stronger than dharma. When you stand on the path of truth, there are very few people who can protect you because the whole system is corrupt. And here, you see, who is standing for Samir Wankhede? Not even the media. Okay. We are talking about, we were saying that, Arnab is very honest and he's a good journalist, he stands for it. Has he even spared a word for Samir Wankhede? Why not? What is he scared of? Okay, let's leave Samir Wankhede. What about the other channels? I'm not talking about India Today and all, which are all bought. Okay, channels which have absolutely no integrity. I'm talking about certain channels which have some sort of a, compassion for the truth. But none of them reported. So, as I told you before, this is a dharma yuddha, where the rakshasas. I'm calling them rakshasas only. These politicians, these sex stars, and all of them, all these Golgappa, all of them are Rakshas and Rakshas tribe. They thrive on eating the flesh of human beings. On one side, they will praise our country and say that we love the unity, we love the flag, we love the Tiranga, we love that. At night, like carnivores, they eat the flesh of the honest man. What has he done wrong? I want to know. Samir Wankhede did his duty. Now, if you or I were in his position, we would do exactly as the seniors say. There is a hierarchy, okay? And at each time, the officers in the hierarchy will tell you, okay, go ahead, please do it. Catch Aryan Khan, give him a slap on the bum, okay? Samir Wankhede will do that. Because it is people like what is his name, Jaydev? Gyaneshwar Singh, who is telling you that. So, when the boss is telling you this, and then after that he becomes a turncoat and says that now Samir Wankhede is guilty because he wanted to take bribe. Forget about all this. Leave this all aside. NCB. I want to ask the head of NCB. Have you at any point caught SRK or his business manager, that woman, what is her name, Pooja Dadlani, for wanting to bribe? No? Why? Oh, that is not an offense, you mean? That bribing is not an offense. Oh, in our country, bribing is not an offense. Only the
Giving a
person
bribe
who's
is also
supposed
an
to have,
offense, right?
yeah, only the person who's going to accept the bribe is an offense. Okay? And what proof do you have of that? The only person who saw it was killed. Don't tell me he committed suicide. Sale. Okay? Sale was also eliminated from the scene very conveniently, just like in the movie plot. So now Samir Wankhede has nobody to support him except for the public and a few media like us. That's it. Okay. But, nevertheless, this public, that is all of you, many more of you, and some of us are strong enough to make our voices heard. We will not allow a young man like him and his family to be ostracized in this manner. Had you taken this kind of action on Nawab Malik and his son-in-law, we would be a drug-free state. Maharashtra would be a drug-free state. Nawab Malik is God. Nawab Malik's son-in-law is son of God. Thakres are people who should be sitting on golden thrones. This is the kind of logic that we have in Maharashtra. Can you imagine the kind of trauma that Samir Wankhede's wife is undergoing? Now see, they have to earn their bread and butter. They are just normal people. Now she's an actress. She has to go and act if she has to bring some money home. Can you imagine the kind of state of mind she would be in, despite the fact that she is a brave woman? Constantly she must be thinking, look at the way they are harassing my husband and myself. Same thing with Samir Wankhede's father and his sister. What are we doing? What is this country doing to an honest man and his family? Instead of thanking him, you did so much of good by eliminating these drug dons, these barons, these, I can't use bad words, but that's exactly what I want to call all these Arjun Rampals and these Deepika Padukones. I want to call them a lot of words, bad words, all four-lettered words. But they all were a part of the charade. They wore salwar kameezes, they put oil in their hair, they went to see Samir Wankhede to show them that they are innocent. While all the WhatsApp chats revealed that they are in the throes of this drug menace. And they are the ones who are promoting it. Unless you take, you do not promote it. If you take it, you are a promoter. Because you're making the drug peddlers come to you and giving you drugs. So I hold the whole of Bollywood responsible for what is happening to Samir Wankhede. Shame on Shah Rukh Khan and his wife, who is selling her second-hand handbags like Gucci to make a livelihood. Shame on Shah Rukh Khan for protecting a son who's heavy on drugs. He said, उसको मैं सुधारूंगा, ठीक है, मैं उसको ठीक कर दूंगा. तो आप कन्फेस कर रहे हैं कि उसके पास ड्रग्स था. जब समीर वांकड़े ने उसको पकड़ा तब उसके पास ड्रग्स था. तो इसमें तो फिर क्लियर हो गया ना कि समीर वांकड़े इज इनोसेंट. So what are these NCB officials doing this circus and drama about? Are they telling me that they are protecting the Bollywood, the underworld, and the police in this? Shame that every day we have to report such stories about how law is being misused, how people in power are trampling all over a family. Shame on you for sitting quiet and having ice creams, while watching a family being thrown and ripped apart. The anger within us is so palpable. How much more can this man take? He has very few people now who are supporting him. Everybody else has been bought. Money, money has strange masters. Money has strange slaves. What can we say? Every day, don't give him protection. So thereby, if an accident happens to him, well, he died in an accident. Just like what happened to Palgar Sadhu's lawyer. It's a very, very upsetting situation. I cannot say how bad I feel for the whole Wankhede family.
He should be
Samir
given.
knows. Let
The
me tell
family
you
should.
the truth that
The
Samir
family should
knows
be. The family should be
that
given
we are
Z plus,
standing, that we are
Z plus
standing with him.
security.
You know, Samir is thankful for that. Who will give them that security? Politicians? When politicians cannot even spare one word for him, who will give him that security? He was fighting for the country. He was protecting the country. He was spreading the word, please don't have drugs. He was conducting massive programs for children to abstain from drugs. And Shah Rukh Khan is not guilty, but this man is guilty. Shah Rukh Khan openly says in WhatsApp that they are guilty as hell, father and son. And same thing, NCB doesn't look at that. NCB doesn't look at Pooja Dadlani. NCB doesn't look at the fact that, see, what was the proof of that these people had in Cordelia Cruz. You mean to say there's no proof at all? There were sanitary pads with drugs inside it in the Cordelia Cruz. All the friends were carrying drugs with them. So what was the purpose? Just to have a nice holiday in Cordelia Cruz, pay 1.5 lakhs and just have a bash over there? No. It was supposed to be a rave party. It was supposed to be an orgy with drugs. And trying to make more youngsters hooked to drugs. This was the motive. Can Shah Rukh Khan admit that? He wants his child to be forgiven. What about the other innocent children who were dragged into that party? Did they know that this is going to be the thing? We cannot blame them. See, they are young people. Their hormones are running at a horse race speed. Give them anything, they will take it. Can you imagine the plight of their parents? They would be begging even harder than you, Shah Rukh Khan. Shame on you. From where to where you have fallen. At a certain time, people respected you as an actor. Today, look at what you are. Pure drug of society. Asking, a righteous police NCB officer to break the law and protect his son. And do it quietly so that people don't know. You've been doing this all your life, Shah Rukh, breaking the law, partying with the ISI. You cannot know anything else. Whereas Samir Wankhede has grown up on values, the values that his mother taught him, that his father taught him, that the flag is the most important thing for him. He did not grow on the values that you grew on, nor on the values that Arjun grew on. And that is why he's standing strong even today. Neither Nawab Malik nor the Thakres will be ripped apart like this because our country does not care for honest patriots. What are Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde waiting for? They were supposed to clean up the Maharashtra's, the scenario. Other than laughing and, dancing with these Bollywood people, I don't see them doing anything of value in Maharashtra. Dara says, why central government is ignoring people's voice for justice and they're not protecting honest people like Samir ji? We just have to pray for success of Samir in this operation, clean up Mumbai. Meena ma'am, why the entire gutter would get all security for what? These druggie would got more protection and security using public tax money. When public working so hard for one time's food,
Yes.
SRK's dirty. Absolutely, well
And
said.
why Salman Khan is getting all the protection from Mumbai police? Who is he? He's just an actor, right? What contribution has he done to the society? So I mean, law seems to be working for all these certain powerful people. Now SSR that anniversary is approaching. Ria will post nonsense. Sarah will post nonsense, and we all know what happened. Shameless, hence no career. Says Ankita.
Everyone
Everyone
in
in the
judicial
judicial
system
system
compromised.
compromises sensible
Yes,
life.
it's our tax money. Absolutely. Money, as they say, is the root of evil, and extreme love for money makes you so immoral. You yourself for it. Samir, I'm reminded of Abhimanyu, was sent to fight to knowing he may be sacrificed. Now, here, see, let me tell you one incident where, Samir, when we interviewed him, Samir said that, see, there was a time when he went into an area which is very, very dangerous. And apparently, those people had already got the alert that the NCB people were there. And they came armed and they started attacking these people. And when they returned, they were completely wounded.
So
Did
he's
any of
giving
you
us,
cry for it?
he's risking his
Yeah,
life.
yeah. Did any of these people cry for him then? Did Shah Rukh Khan feel sorry and do all his salams and this? Did he do this in front of him? No, he didn't. So Shah Rukh Khan, you approach people when it suits you. You go to Delhi when it suits you. You bring lots of watches from Dubai when it suits you. But to give it to whom? Who are all these Rolex watches for? I know you're used to luxury. I know you're used to a lot of, plenty of money, yachts and private jets and all that. Have some sympathy for an honest officer. When your wife goes and gives interviews everywhere for some book that she has written, which most probably would have been ghost written, you never bothered about sparing a thought for Samir Wankhede. Because today, Samir Wankhede is working as well as worrying about his case. He has no sleep. And you mean are we saying that this is only one Samir Wankhede? One of the last sessions I told you about a Kerala police officer who was kicked out by Pinrai. He was the man who was saluted in Man Ki Baat by Modi ji for being such an honest cop. So there are many brilliant people who are being suppressed in our country. I wish every time someone did like this, they were honored for it. Instead of these stupid wrestlers, these women who claim that they have been raped, who have a political backing for them, who are a part of the Tukre gang, who are a part of the farmers' agitation, who are a part of the Soros gang. Can't we differentiate? Every time people ask, what happened to the wrestlers? Nothing has happened to them. Those women have become greedy. They don't want to go and do what you call their competitions in smaller towns, which is what the minister was insisting on. They wanted to go to glamorous cities like Paris and wherever to show their skills, which means they want to make money. That's it. So it's again a corrupt system there. True Indian says, yes, Mayaji, he will no doubt on Samirji. We want him to win, just like we want Modi ji to win, always in spite of maximum ruckus and galata. Think positive, we owe him. Why is public still watching Bollywood movies and in turn keeping them employed? To use the money, yes, well said, to destroy the country. My
Public
prayers for
has stopped watching Bollywood films. The proof is in the hashtag boycott Bollywood movement, and the fact that all the Bollywood films are flopping left and right. And Kerala Story is the number one hit in India, crossing 300 crores. So
yeah.
public are now aware.
CBI is protecting the culprits and falsely implicating Samir Wankhede, sir. I don't understand what center is doing and why Modi ji is supporting Gutterwood so much. Power in public's hand to stop Bollywood druggy wood. See here, uh, okay, Vishali says, why one day Dhanishri, why not now? Sensible Life says, maybe they introduce drugs that change the chemicals and genetics of the body and dirt and filth in the society. Yes, this is exactly what I told you about when we had a guest, an anonymous guest, who underwent the experience, where the drugs and the medicines, sort of synthetic drugs, actually change the composition of your body. It makes you more masculine. It gives you cancer, and even the voice changes to a male voice. So your features change, everything happens. Uh, One thing I don't understand. See, yesterday we were talking about it, and in our last session with this character, what's his name, Jade? Avatramani.
Yeah. Oro.
Avatramani.
Ora. Ora.
Oh, yeah. Ora, is it? Yeah. So this
Yes.
boy, apparently they've been saying lots of
Oran.
tweets
Oran.
about
Yeah.
Ori,
Orhan.
yes. Ori, yes.
Yeah.
Ori about saying that he's supplying drugs. And that is why they are like, bees to honey. They're all there, all these girls. But have they at any point thought what these drugs will do to them? And for this, Samir Wankhede has been fighting. And for that, he's being now rewarded by supposedly the federal agencies that are supposed to stand for truth. And who are paying these federal agencies? It is public money. It's our tax money that is used to hit us. It is not government money. It is our money. All these Gyaneshwar Singhs and all, no? All these people who are going for Shah Rukh Khan's birthday and all that, they are being paid by us. They are our servants. And these servants are acting like this. I can't get even more, nasty with these people. Because they have destroyed one life, one family. Why only honest people have to suffer after giving so much for our country? Officers like Samir are being harassed. It's disgusting.
Yes.
Shah Rukh Khan is fading into oblivion. Probably in 2 or 3 years, who would give him any importance? He'll be forgotten soon for what, for that's what he deserves. Here, in fact, Kunzru, I'll tell you one thing. See, when I was watching, this movie that you had seen, Jade, the Hollywood movie recently, the action movie, in that,
Fast 10.
some scenes, Fast and Furious, in that some scenes have been literally lifted and put in Patan. Some scenes have been taken from Captain, this thing. Some scenes have been taken from other, hero movies, Marvel character movies. So what is genuine about these movies, and why are we paying to see these characters on screen? Why would you want to see Prabhas as Rama in Adipurush? Let us not pay to make them use terrorism against us. Let us not give them money, that money that they are going to use for drug peddling. Let us not spoil our own youth. It's very important, because no mother or father would ever want their child to become a drug addict. And please don't think that, drug addiction comes over a period. No. Even in a week, a child can get drug addicted. The kind of agony that Janvi Kukreja's mother is undergoing now, Nidhi Kukreja, when she tells me, I can feel her pain. She keeps saying that, Minaji, I'm going to the court today. Please pray for me that I get some good news. Her daughter had 45 wounds to her body. Who did that to her? Apparently, the person who did that was in a drug frenzy. And they were experimenting on synthetic drugs mixed with alcohol. Can you imagine the impact? Even one stab wound takes so much of energy. You would have seen recently the Chetal case, how that man was acting. He would have been high on drugs. Similarly, today there is a case. A man has, cut a woman into 100 pieces. What is happening to our country? And
Yeah,
what
I
are these
leave it. Yeah,
politicians supporting?
and one more thing is, recently we had, Shraddha Walker being cut into pieces by Aftab, and then you had the 16-year-old girl, being stabbed to death in her head and all over her body, and the kind of brutality was captured in that video camera. But he was just arrested, and after that, why is the death sentence not given for either Shraddha Walker's Aftab or this thing when there's proof? Right? Everyone has seen, the whole country has seen the video, and why the judicial system is not giving a death sentence to these people, right? So, I mean, what kind of message are you sending to the Indian public that your sons and daughters can any day be killed like that? And where are we going with this? Salman Khan got gun and world security, yet still he's scared. Yes, this is how Salman is a big joke. Yes, he's facing his karma right now. That he's scared of whenever he's in public glare. His eyes always keeps looking at the media and all those photographers. Right, he looks very nervous. So it is because of all the bad karma he has accumulated in the past, and now it's showing that he's looking for maybe Lawrence Bishnoi among the media people. So synthetic drugs make you hallucinate, and you lose sense of humanity, and they do such sensible life, and all these
So
drugs like
here, let me tell you
fentanyl and
something.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, in Kerala, just day before yesterday, two young sisters were beating their mother up in a drug frenzy. And when somebody tried to save them and videograph it, they started attacking them also. Can you imagine what's happening? Just few months back, a schoolboy hit his grandmother because she would not give him money to buy drugs. Kerala has become like Punjab. The drug scene is so bad in these states. Recently, they have been saying that these people are mixing drugs in food created by women's groups unknowingly so that people don't know when they're taking drugs. It's going from worse to I don't know what. It's becoming like a hell. If
So
agencies
parents
are so
have to
helpless,
be, yeah, sorry, parents have to be educated, at a very young, when their parents, they have to educate their kids, especially the young kids at a very young age, as to not take food from strangers, right? And not to take food from vendors, until and unless they know it is, very good, genuine food, and there's nothing in it. So, parents have to be very, very careful from now on, right?
yeah.
Yes.
If agencies are so helpless, then how will innocent people get justice? My heart cries for Rabia Madam, Sushant's father, and others. Really sad. Right point. Mr. Ambani has also invited them recently for the inauguration of their dance academy. One point he makes them waiters and later invites them with great respect, says Vinny. Unfortunately, I used to be a great fan of Prabhas, especially after Bahubali, as he provided some relief from Bollywood and Khans. But I've realized he's also a part of the Cabal, the initiative. One more movie coming on Ramayana starring Alia and Ranbir playing Lord Rama and Sita. I mean, on what basis makers are thinking about them to play the role of Rama and Sita? Maybe they are the Rama and Sita of Kali Yuga, coming from somewhere else. You should not even uh, think of watching such movies. He's scared of Lawrence Bishnoi. Kerala has become a drug menace. Yes, absolutely. True Indian. Oh my gosh, what kind of society? These corrupt politicians and judiciary acting like mafia. Meena ma'am, how reliable or valid do you think? No, I don't trust it. He's just drunk. Yeah, half the time he's drunk. Ria is also enjoying as she is in roadies and enjoying life.
Yes,
Why these
Sharmila.
people play with Hindu sentiment by taking actors like Alia and Ranbir, who Hindu phobic, to play legendary historic characters? It is because they want to irritate you. You have boycotted Bollywood, so you see what we'll do to you. That is the attitude. I don't know why, but I've become a fan. But some time back, Ayushman Khurrana and Neha were doing a paid show in my city. During 1 hour show, Ayushman was heard pleading to people to go and watch movies in theater.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Or in the theater, the same film, he wants to watch the people to watch the same film 4 to 5 times. That's hilarious.
in UP court, the mafia were killed. In a way, yes, this is one of the good things that are happening, you know. And I wish there were a million Yogijis or a million Himanta Biswa Sharmas, so that our country could be, rid of all this. Just, Meena ma'am, will this ever end, or system will continue working this way? Surely I can't predict that.
But
Sharmila,
one thing is for
Alia
sure,
herself is very
just that
irritable.
karmic system always works efficiently.
Yes, absolutely. One good and positive thing came from Boycott Bollywood. It's shown what Bollywood is in its purest of drugs and evil on society to wake public up. 99% it works and it will continue. Thank you. Yes. Well said, Ray. Smriti, exactly. Where is Lawrence Bishnoi? Politicians supported Bollywood means more than Bollywood politicians are scared to get exposed. In UP, the mafias were encountered in courtroom. Yes, that's a good verdict for entire Bollywood. Else give me a gun, judiciary, I'll do it for you. Right, Sharmila? Alia is literally irritating dumb female. That's the boycott Bollywood magic. Ayushman has realized it. Even Pravas was begging to see his film in the pre-release function in Tirupati. Isn't it the place where the director kissed the heroine?
Yes.
Vinny. Certain kids are boisterous. They hit their parents, rob them, or even kill them for drugs. Many families have been robbed by their kids of cash and gold ornaments. Illuminati is now paying attention to Bollywood stars to spin their agenda against India. Soros is also spinning the same agenda. I believe that Soros is dead, but this is the some of the news that's coming out, and that it's his son who's running the show. Dang is shivering listening to the Dabang. Yes, Lawrence Bishnoi's name. He's really Dara Hua Dabang. Yes. With this, we conclude this session tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow with a lot more news. Good night from Jay Dev and me. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.